Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because today we have an insane true story that will leave you speechless. It's about a girl everyone thought was just super quiet, super shy, the kind of person who never spoke up in class, never raised her hand, never wanted any attention. She was basically invisible, but one single day, one single moment changed everything and turned her into a legit hero who saved an entire family from something straight out of a nightmare. So grab your drink, sit back, and let me tell you the full story from start to finish. This is the story of Emily Carter, the girl who shocked an entire town. Emily was 19 years old, living in a small town in Ohio called Milford. Population barely 5,000 people. Everyone knew everyone, typical Midwest vibe. She was the youngest of three kids. Her older brothers were loud, athletic, popular, the total opposite of her. Emily had long brown hair, always wore hoodies 2 sizes too big, kept her head down, walked fast in the hallways at school. Teachers barely remembered her name. Classmates called her the ghost because she would just appear and disappear. No drama, no gossip, no boyfriend, no social media, nothing. She had like 12 followers on Instagram, and half of them were family. People always said Emily was too quiet, like painfully shy. Her mom would beg her to join clubs, talk to people, make friends. But Emily just liked being alone. She loved reading thriller novels, listening to music with her huge headphones on, and walking through the woods. Behind her house there was this old trail that went on for miles, and she knew every inch of it. She could walk it blindfolded. That trail was her safe place, her escape from the world. Now, let's go to the day everything changed. It was a Friday afternoon in late October. The leaves were bright orange. The air was crisp, perfect fall weather. Emily finished her shift at the local coffee shop. She worked part-time after community college classes. She grabbed her backpack, threw on her black hoodie, and started her usual walk home through the woods. She had her music blasting, some sad indie playlist she always listened to. Meanwhile, about 2 miles away, a family of 5 was having the worst day of their lives. The Thompsons, mom, dad, and 3 kids ages 14, 11, and 7. They were driving back from a weekend trip in their big SUV. The dad, Mark, was driving. Mom, Sarah, was in the passenger seat. The kids were in the back watching movies on their tablets. They took this shortcut through the back roads to avoid traffic. It was a road that barely anyone used, especially this time of year. Then disaster hit. It started raining hard. Out of nowhere, the road turned into mud. Mark tried to slow down, but the SUV started sliding. They hit a wet patch, and the car went off the road down a steep hill straight toward the river. The car flipped twice, smashed into trees, and landed upside down, half submerged in the freezing water. The river wasn't super deep, but it was moving fast, and the car was filling up quick. Inside the car, pure chaos. Mark was knocked out cold. Sarah was screaming, trying to unbuckle herself. The kids were crying, blood everywhere. The 14-year-old Jake managed to kick out a window, but the current was pulling water in fast. The car was sinking. They had minutes, maybe less. No one was around for miles. No houses, no cell signal, nothing. This was the definition of being screwed. Back to Emily. She's walking, her trail headphones on, minding her own business, when she hears something faint. At first, she thinks it's her imagination, but then she hears it again, screams coming from the direction of the river. She rips off her headphones and starts running toward the sound. Her heart is pounding. She's never run that fast in her life. She gets to the edge of the hill and looks down and sees the SUV upside down in the water, half sunk, the family inside screaming for help. Most people would freeze, most people would panic and call 911 and pray. But her phone had no signal, and even if it did, help was at least 20 minutes away. These people would be dead by then. Emily didn't think, she just acted. She slid down the muddy hill, almost fell a dozen times, but made it to the riverbank. The water was ice cold up to her waist already. She waited and grabbed onto the car and started pulling on the doors. They were jammed. Sarah sees her through the broken window and screams, "Help my babies, please." Emily looks inside and sees the situation is way worse than she thought. The water is up to the kids' necks. Mark is still unconscious, bleeding from his head. The car shifts and sinks another few inches. Time is running out. Emily remembers something. She has a pocket knife her dad made her carry for the woods. She pulls it out, starts stabbing at the seatbelts, cutting the kids free one by one. The 7-year-old Lily is first. She's hysterical. Emily pulls her out, hands her up to the bank, tells her, "Stay right here, don't move," then goes back for the 11-year-old Ben. Same thing, cuts him free, pulls him out. Water is now up to Emily's chest. She's shaking from the cold, but keeps going. Next is Jake, the 14-year-old. He's trying to help his mom, but he's stuck. Emily dives halfway into the car, cuts his belt, pulls him out. Now it's just mom and dad. Sarah is trying to wake Mark up, but he's not moving. Emily reaches and grabs Sarah's hand, pulls with everything she is. Sarah comes free, but the car shifts hard, almost takes Emily under with it. She barely gets out. Now the hardest part, Mark is heavy, unconscious, and trapped by the steering wheel. The water is almost to the roof. Emily takes the deepest breath of her life, goes fully underwater, finds the seatbelt, cuts it, then grabs Mark under the arms and pulls. She pulls so hard she feels something pop in her shoulder, but she doesn't stop. She drags him out of the window through the freezing water up to the bank. By the time she gets Mark out, the car is completely underwater, gone. The whole family is on the bank, soaked, shaking, crying, but alive. Emily collapses next to them, coughing up river water. Her hands are bleeding from the knife and glass. She's freezing. But she did it. She saved every single one of them. Then out of nowhere, Lily, the 7-year-old, hugs her and just says, "Thank you, thank you, thank you," and starts sobbing into Emily's hoodie. That's when it hits Emily what just happened. She starts shaking, not from the cold, but from the adrenaline crash. She just saved 5 people's lives. 20 minutes later, somehow a truck driver on the main road saw the broken guardrail, stopped, and called 911. Ambulances, fire trucks, police, everyone shows up. The Thompsons are rushed to the hospital. Mark has a bad concussion, broken ribs, but he's alive. Sarah has cuts and bruises. The kids are traumatized, but okay. Emily refuses to go to the hospital at first. She just wants to go home, but the paramedics force her. She has hypothermia, a dislocated shoulder, cuts everywhere. The news spreads like wildfire in a small town. By the next day, everyone knows quiet little Emily Carter, the girl no one noticed, just pulled a family of 5 out of a sinking car. The local news picks it up, then national news, CNN, Fox, all of them are running the story. Shy Ohio teen becomes real-life hero. The Thompsons want to meet her as soon as they can. Mark can barely talk, but he cries when he sees her, tells her, "You're the reason my kids have a dad." Sarah hugs her for like 10 minutes straight, won't let go. The kids draw her pictures, call her their guardian angel. The town has a parade for her. The mayor gives her a key to the city. Businesses are offering her free stuff for life. Emily hates the attention. She tries to hide from the cameras, tells reporters, "Please just leave me alone. I didn't do anything special." But the whole country is obsessed with her story. She goes viral on TikTok, Twitter, everywhere. People are calling her the silent hero. A GoFundMe is set up for her college fund. It raises over $300,000 in a week. Companies want to give her scholarships, job offers, modeling deals, because turns out Emily is actually really pretty when she's not hiding under hoodies, but she turns most of it down. She just wants to go back to her quiet life. But something changed in her after that day. She starts talking more in class. She smiles at people in the hallway. She even joins a book club. Her mom cries the first time Emily tells a stranger thank you without looking at the floor. That one moment of insane bravery broke something open inside her. The Thompsons and the Carters become like family now. They have dinner together every Sunday. Mark calls Emily his 5th kid. Lily still sends her drawings every week. Jake wants to be a firefighter now because of her. And Emily, she still walks that trail in the woods, but now she walks with her head up. Sometimes she stops at the spot where it all happened, looks at the river and smiles. She knows now that being quiet doesn't mean you're weak. Sometimes the quiet ones are the strongest when it really matters. So yeah, that's the story of Emily Carter, the shy girl who became a legend in one afternoon. The girl who proved heroes don't always wear capes. Sometimes they just wear oversized hoodies and headphones. If you got chills watching this, hit that like button, drop a comment, and tell me what would you have done in that situation. Would you have jumped in or called for help? Let me know. And if you want more crazy true stories like this, subscribe right now. We post every single week. Real people, real heroes, real insanity. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe out there. Peace.